What's going on, guys? This is G-Lol Gaming. Welcome to the Pasta Show. Back with some more. Today I'm going to read a Creepypasta that I found by clicking the random pasta button, which I might do sometimes now, I'm not sure. It's called Operation Mercury. It's I think one of the first military pastas I've done. It's categorized under military anyways. At least it's better than doing the cliche Russian sleep experiment, but anyways, here we go. Let's do this creepypasta. The following events were originally recorded on a piece of paper found in a destroyed farmhouse in Vladimir, Russia. The paper mildly burnt and torn next to a firearm. The names of the personnel have been changed to protect the identities of the deceased. This is being posted for public awareness on the current matter. After the destruction at Chernobyl, the USSR sent a hazmat unit to investigate possible mutation of organic material inside the city. The team never reported back and replaced its MIA and presumed dead. Police units later found a torn piece of lined notebook paper and a .44 Magnum revolver covered in black liquid consistent of glue and filled with human DNA. After this discovery, the USSR deleted all records of the personnel and the operation. A scientist who could no longer live in guilt told the UN of the operation and released the contents of the paper into public. Below is the complete transcript of the paper. Reminder: this has been posted for public awareness. Our boots crunched beneath the ashen grounds of our once beautiful Pripyat as we entered the dead city. An empty swing set squeaked in the wind as it gently pushed back and forth. A Ferris wheel whistled and groaned against a rush of air. This is pointless, cowards called to us, not a soul could have survived this. I didn't respond. I usually wouldn't. I felt an ache for my homeland, devastated by the destruction. The city once teeming with parents and children, now an extinguished fire. We chose the school building as our first checkout. I remember it perfectly. It was 2 stories made entirely out of stone. Windows with torn drawings made from school children were still hanging to the glass. It was our most fatal mistake. Cower, McIntyre, and I went through the front while Tackrell and Zarin went through the back. Cower kicked in the door, and we emerged inside, seeing concrete walls of gray. Filthy papers, light scattered, and the lockers blown open from the wind and rust. Only the vague gray light from outside gave us vision. We trudged down an empty hallway and arrived at an intersection. We decided to investigate a hallway black as night. Cower tried a light switch and it miraculously worked, giving the middle of the hallway a sharp glow. The 3 of us were about to descend when we heard Tackrell's scream echo from the hallway. We immediately backed against the walls of the doorway, calling his name and hearing no reply. Then a hideous laughter. Oh my god. The laughter bouncing off the walls and hitting our eardrums. When we heard both sounds stop, I walked down the hallway, aiming my weapon down the long stretch of concrete. In the light, I could see a hazmat uniform. I ripped off the mask and stared into the dead eyes of Tackrell. I noticed a knife gash very deep in his neck. McIntyre and Cower joined me. I began to feel a strong sense of paranoia and fear and felt eyes in the shadows. Suddenly Zarin swooshed us away, his knife dripping blood that gleamed as it dropped from the blade. I was afraid he'd stab us with it. He kept muttering about Tackrell's eyes being a sacrifice to the devil, then rambling about seeing the devil himself. He stuck his knife inside the socket and dug out Tackrell's eye, slicing behind it and cutting around the edges. He loosened it, then tore it out. He stared into its pupil, turned around, and laughed at something in the dark. At that moment, a large claw, shaped like a crescent moon, wrapped around Zarin and dragged him into the darkness. Cower, McIntyre, and I ran, our footsteps echoing across the halls. We were at the doorway when a force pushed McIntyre and I through the door. I tumbled through the ash and looked to see Cower lying in the doorway. He was scrambling away from something, as if trying to crawl through the doorway, but it seemed like he was trapped there. Then suddenly the same claws I saw take Zarin shoved themselves into his eyes. I heard him scream. His screams haunt me to this very day. The two of us, McIntyre and I, ran to the edge of the forest. I was about to race into it when a strange creature, unlike anything I've ever seen before, emerged from the brush. It had black, soulless eyes that told me it could not see, with scars around the edges as if they had once been stitched. Its skin was pale white and shrunken. Its ears were tiny circles next to its temples. Two long arms with claws were holding it up, while its crescent claws, now dripping with crimson blood, hung at its sides. It screeched still rings in my ears, which sounded disturbingly like a mix of human laughter and an awful roar from a lion. But the most troubling part was its mouth. It was shaped in a human-like smile that was never-ending, with scars at the edges of its mouth that cut all the way to its ears. It walked over to my trembling friend, took its claws, and ripped McIntyre's mouth into an unending grin, like its. I couldn't take it anymore. I ran as far as I could and finally collapsed outside an outpost. I was locked in an asylum, but I've escaped. Strange. Is it my imagination, or can I hear it calling my name? Dear God, there it is. The eye taker staring, and yet not staring at me through my window, grinning. My pistol is lying on the coffee table. I doubt it would work. Oh wait, is he a way out? Yes, he'll do that. The teller, name unknown, is believed to have committed suicide. Investigators have not recovered the body of deceased. Further evidence suggests that the body was dragged away, as large mud trails begin in what the investigators believe was once a living room. It stops outside the forest. It serves as a boundary to Chernobyl. Investigation also shows that there were two claw prints dug right outside where investigators think was a window. Further analysis shows the sightings of a similar creature and further photos inside rural parts of the United States, Russia, and Europe. Yet the photos have been removed due to untold reasons. All personnel on this investigation permit that if the being is somehow seen, please report the incident to 911 and remain indoors, as the being now named as the Eye Taker is hostile. Alright, sorry about my reading if I really sounded depressed. That's just the way I read sometimes. And also sorry whenever I like saying Chernobyl. Like it sounds like I'm not saying a part of it. But yeah, this is a creepypasta that doesn't seem to have that much attention. That's kind of what I do on this series. I do creepypastas that aren't really that much, that aren't being read that much. This creepypasta was pretty good. I mean, you know, it's basically another, you know, investigate. Well, I don't know. I'm kind of forgetting if I've read that many ones that have in like investigations of areas, and then they find a creature there, and it takes everyone. Sounds kind of like a cliche, but it's done okay, I guess. The creature itself, it's not really that scary. Apparently it's supposed to represent a demon or the devil. Apparently it possessed someone to start killing, and yeah. Well, that's it. Operation Mercury. It's an okay creepypasta. I'll leave a link below as always if you want to read it yourself. The gameplay on the screen, probably don't know what it's going to be. Probably some Call of Duty campaign. I don't know when it might be. As always, leave in the comments if you want me to read a certain creepypasta, because I actually really am running out of ideas on what to read. That's why I'm doing a random pasta button. So yeah, I really need suggestions, and I will actually read it. I will not put it off or just ignore it. No, I will read it. So yeah, I guess that's it for this episode of the Pasta Show. See you guys next time.